Do you like it, liebes Frauchen?
No, my dearest, I love it. From here I shall watch this goddess flow.
Then we will buy it. I will write Karl directly and have him put everything in order.
The construction would start in the following years. Flyvault.net presents Where the River Bends, a fly fishing short story. And now, Where the River Bends. For thousands of years, hunter-gatherers followed this waterway through the Scottish Highlands, drawn by its abundance of salmon and clear mountain water. When the Celts arrived, they recognized something sacred in its flow. To these ancient people, this was no ordinary river. When Roman legions first mapped Scotland in the 2nd century, they recorded its Celtic name as Deva in Ptolemy's geography. In the ancient Celtic tongue, Deva meant goddess. By the 15th century, this goddess river had witnessed enough Scottish history for the Gordon family to recognize its strategic value. They built the first tower house at its bend, using the river as natural protection while commanding views of the valley. The estate passed through generations of Highland nobility before the Farquharsons brought Jacobite drama to its shores. James Farquharson's participation in the failed risings of 1715 and 1745 cost his family dearly. Wounded at the Battle of Falkirk, he lived to see his cause collapse at Culloden and his Balmoral lands forfeited as punishment. While castles changed hands and political fortunes rose and fell, the river itself was developing a reputation of its own. By the early 1700s, the first accounts of organized salmon fishing began to appear in local records. The river's exceptional clarity and its remarkable runs of Atlantic salmon drew notice from landowners who began to recognize the value of what flowed through their properties. In the 1730s, the pools and fishing beats, stretches of river allocated for fishing, were formalized by forward-thinking landowners. They divided the river into sections, each with its own character and challenges for anglers seeking the prize salmon that returned year after year. By the 1760s, the river had gained significant attention among Scottish aristocracy for its exceptional spring salmon runs. Unlike many rivers where salmon appeared only briefly, this waterway offered the chance to catch these magnificent fish when they were at their strongest and most vibrant, fresh from the sea, with their silver scales still gleaming. The 1780s saw the establishment of the first fishing clubs along the river's course. Gentlemen from Edinburgh and beyond would travel for days just to cast their lines into these hallowed waters. Club records from this period note catches of fish exceeding 30 pounds, monsters that required exceptional skill and stamina to land with the primitive tackle of the day. What made this river particularly beloved by anglers was its remarkable clarity. Unlike the peat-stained waters of many Scottish rivers, these currents ran clear enough for fishermen to spot salmon holding in deeper pools. This visibility created an intimacy between fisher and fish that was impossible elsewhere. The Gled Wing became the river's signature fly pattern in the early 19th century. This distinctive creation featured a sparse claret, an orange-yellow mohair body, broad silver tinsel in long spirals, and exceptionally long black heron hackles that pulsed hypnotically in the current. Local ghillies crafted these flies on exceptionally long-shanked hooks, about an inch longer than standard, with no head to avoid unwanted ripple. Francis, fishing editor of The Field magazine and one of the most influential angling writers of the Victorian era, encountered these unique patterns and remarked that they possessed a character entirely their own, unlike any salmon fly known elsewhere in Britain or the continent. In 1848, distinguished visitors from London arrived to lease a riverside estate, having never seen the property firsthand. Their enchantment was immediate and complete. By 1852, they had purchased the estate outright. In 1853, construction began on a magnificent new castle overlooking the river. By 1856, the magnificent new castle stood complete, a testament to royal love for this Scottish Highland Valley. For the next century and beyond, this imposing granite structure would serve as a summer sanctuary for Britain's most powerful family, a place where queens and kings could escape the crushing weight of imperial responsibility. But while castles rise and fishing techniques evolve, the river has flowed through these lands since time immemorial, bringing life to the valley through flood and gentle summer flow. The gatherers hunted it, the Celts named it, the Romans recorded it, and Victoria fell in love with it, where she and Albert would build her beloved castle, Balmoral, on the banks of the River Dee. And now you have heard a long-lost story from a tier's bench, and one you can share with your friends when you meet them, where the river bends. I found your subscribe button in my garage at 3 a.m., constructing a detailed diorama of the Battle of Waterloo using nothing but Neapolitan ice cream and some tape. Napoleon was made entirely of strawberry, which I suppose made sense to them. Now my garage floor looks like a melted rainbow, and I've got ants forming their own battalions. Good thing they aren't beetles, or it may have been a hard day's night. Take care, my friends. And as always, happy tying.